to lock in sideways and postpone your choice to a later point. Right. So here's the summary of the benefits of the 6-block method. Score is obviously one of the biggest reasons why we might want to use the 6-block method, right? At the loss of tile efficiency. And the fact that it allows you to decide things later means that there will be more opportunities for you to incorporate situational factors into your choice, your decision. So as you get better and better at interpreting situational factors, then 6-block method will become more and more useful, right? If you think you haven't mastered tile efficiency or how to apply analog techniques, you might just want to stick with the 5-block method. But in order to proceed to the next stage, you might want to work on 6-block method so that you can decide which method you should use depending on situations. But yeah, be always mindful of the cost involved in applying the 6-block method. So most of the times we use the 5-block method. Now, so we're going to move on to the second topic, sakigiri or not do sakigiri. It's a trade-off between safety and efficiency. Have you heard of the term sakigiri, sumogiri, tedashi, things like that?
It's like rediscovering the translated or?
It's Japanese. Sakigiri means in advance. Giri means discard. Saki means in advance. Discarding something in advance. Discarding dangerous styles in advance. So there are you sometimes face a choice between keeping potentially dangerous style in your hand to maximize efficiency, or discard dangerous styles early to enhance safety. Right? So we're going to see situations where which one might be better. But the basic principle is that we should not do sakigiri. That's the theory. But there are exceptional situations where you might want to do sakigiri. Right? Here, discarding north is more efficient. Right? So this means discarding north means that you don't do sakigiri. Discarding 6 is sakigiri, because the logic behind that is that the 6 may become more dangerous, so you discard 6 in advance before the hand becomes tenpai. And again, the advice here is that you should not do sakigiri. You should not discard 6 in most of the time. Right? You should not do sakigiri in a normal situation. So 6, the additional 6 in this block is called a follow-up tile. And that follow-up tile is the one that would make a hand perfect runaway, if you draw more tiles to advance the hand. Right? So discarding 1/6 from 6/6/7 would involve a non-trivial loss in tile efficiency. If you keep 6, the hand can accept 2 more copies of 1 and 2 more copies of 6. But if you discard 1/6, the hand will lose the ability to accept 1. Right? So usually doing sakigiri involves non-negligible loss of tile efficiency. So you probably most of the time shouldn't do it. But yeah, so before talking about exceptions, let's see several examples where you should not do sakigiri. So here, you draw a potentially safe tile, west, and you now think whether to keep west and discard 8, right? And apparently 8 does not improve tile acceptance at all at this moment, right? Because you got 1 block here, 1 block here, 1 block here, 1 block here. right? So this is a pretty good Ishanten. It's called Yamen Ishanten, because we have two Yamens, right? Without 8, this is a pretty good Ishanten. So you might think that you can keep this and discard 8, but my advice is don't do it, right? Even though 8 doesn't seem to be making a difference, if you draw 6, 9, 1, then tile acceptance doubles, right? Currently, it accepts 12 tiles, but if you keep 8, then a draw of 6 and 9 will make tile acceptance 24. Because now you'll be able to accept another copy of 6, 5, 3, 2 to make them a pair, right? So even though this might seem redundant, you should rather keep it, right? Again, you should rather keep 6, right? Even though it seems that, at this moment it doesn't look like this is doing anything, right? You got one proton here, another proton here. But if you draw 7, then you get semi-sideway here, right, with 7. Right? Or if you get 2, another copy of 2 or 4, you can make this the head, and you get sideway here. Right? So you should rather keep 6 and discard the safe tile. Right? This is the last example of example where you should not do sakigiri. Right? 9 seems redundant, but in order to keep the possibility of sanshoku, you should keep 9 and discard west. Right? Sorry, this is the last. This is the last example where you should not do sakigiri. 2 seems pretty redundant, right? 2 bamboo. You get Yanmen, Ishanten, right? But notice that this is Dora, 8-pin. You want to pawn 8-pin, or you want to pawn 2-so to make the hand, to expedite the hand, right? Because if you pawn 8-pin or 2 bamboo, 2-so, and get open tanyao, you can chi 2-5 man or 3-6 pin, right? If you discard 2-so here, then you can't chi, right? Because it's not tanyao. But if you keep 2 and pawn 8 or 2 and discard 3, then you can chi. So that's much faster if you can chi. Yeah?
So does this decision also depend on how late it is in the hand? Like if your hand is at this stage within 3 or 4 first draws, maybe it's better to keep a safe tile, but when it's later, it's better to keep all your options. Does it depend on this as well?
It depends. Yeah, turns will influence your decisions, but yeah, I'm talking more about general principles. But yeah, definitely towards the end, you might want to go safe, or after opponent's Riichi, you might want to go safe. But I'm just talking about, in general, you should not do sakigiri. And obviously, if someone is in Riichi, your choice might be very different. But with 2-door hands, probably you just do YOLO, right? I mean, in the game with a red 5. Any questions so far? Okay. So I'm going to talk about 3 exceptional situations where you might want to do sakigiri. The first one is what we have already talked about. 6-block method involves doing sakigiri, right? As we have seen, right? These are all examples from before. Right? Discarding 8 to keep the possibility of sanshoku means that you do sakigiri here, right? Discarding 7 to keep all the 6 blocks means you do sakigiri here, right? Discarding 6 to keep 6 blocks, sakigiri, right? Discarding 5, sakigiri, right? So 6-block method is one exception. Another exception is when your hand is 2 away from tenpai. You can discard 3 man to do sakigiri, right? If you want to keep north. The loss in tile efficiency is only 2 tiles when the hand is 2 away. When the hand is 1 away from tenpai, the loss in tile efficiency will be 4 tiles. As you get closer and closer to tenpai, tile acceptance gets smaller and smaller. So the difference in tile efficiency will become more and more critical. But when you're far away from tenpai, sakigiri is okay. You don't have to do it, but if you do it, it's not the end of the world, right? But once you get 1 away, you probably shouldn't do sakigiri, except in exceptional situations. The last exceptional situations where sakigiri might be okay is when you want to lock in Dora-related programs, right? Here, Dora is 3 man. You're not going to throw 3 man anyway, right? So that means 2 man is not going to be the head anyway. So you might just better just discard 2 man to lock in this proton with this Bielawa proton by sakigiri. Or here, Dora is 3 man again. You might just want to discard 1 copy of 4 man to lock in the 2-5 Bielawa or 3-6 Bielawa. Right? That's sakigiri, but it's okay. Because you're not going to discard Dora anyway. Right? Or discarding 4 to lock in bit 5 is also okay. The last topic that I'm going to cover in tile efficiency is a choice between the head or run. This is something that we actually frequently come across in playing version. So what would you discard here? The choice is really between 7 man or 9 man, right? All the other blocks look good, right? So discarding 9 means that you lock in this sequence, the run, right? Discarding 7 means that you lock in the head, right? So in general, you should rather lock in the head first by discarding 7 or 7 and then 8, rather than locking in 9. Rather than locking in a run by discarding a 9. And here's why. So let's compare these 2 choices, discarding 9 and discarding 7. If you discard 9, the tile acceptance will be 8 kinds. If you discard 7, the hand becomes Bielawa Ishanten, side and side Ishanten, right? 2 Bielawa programs, right? So 4 kinds, two kinds here, 2 kinds here, 4 kinds, 16 tiles to make the hand tenpai. Whereas if you discard 9, then tile acceptance apparently is higher, 8 kinds and 28 tiles. So on the surface, it might look that this is better. Right? Discarding 9 to lock in a run might look better, but but it's actually not the case. So if you lock in a run first, and if you draw 2-5 bamboo or 2-5 man first, the final weight is going to be a very weak tanki weight, single weight, right? So these numbers are inflated, right? This includes the possibility that the hand will become a really weak tenpai hand, whereas this hand will always be Bielawa tenpai, right? So if you compare the two by focusing only on draws that we'll make for Yanmen Tenpai, the tile efficiency numbers will actually, the comparison will be flipped. If you lock in the head first, again, this is 4 kinds, 16 tiles. And if you lock in a run first, then the tile acceptance is actually worse than locking in the head, right? So in general, lock in a pair, lock in the head first when you have 2 Yanmen protons, right? So that's the theory. And again, there will be exceptional situations, right? So the oh yeah, and this is true. This is more so when you have an open hand, right? Because you can cheat, right? Unless you lock in the head first, you can't cheat, right? I mean, well, you can cheat, but you'll get tanky weight. When you're expecting to cheat, you should rather lock in the head first by discarding 7 and then 8. So the exception has to do with connected blocks. When you have multiple tile blocks that are connected, then you should lock in a run first, rather than locking in the head first. Here we have connected blocks in pink, right? So discarding 3 means that we are locking in a run, right, without having any pair. But that's okay. That's actually recommended when you have connected blocks, because even if you draw a Yanmen first, 1, 4, you can get Yanmen weight here, right, by discarding 7 to get 3, 6 weight, right? Or if you discard, if you draw 3, 6 first, discard 7 to get Yanmen there. If you draw 4, 7, again, one of them can become the head, and then you get Yanmen weight here, right? When you have connected blocks like this, it's okay. I mean, it's better to lock in a run rather than locking in the head. Another example, right? Discarding 8 means locking in a run, but it's okay, because if you draw this first, you can get Nobetan weight, right? By discarding 4, right? So I'm gonna have 5 or 6 review exercises to wrap up the second part of the lecture. What would you discard? Something, yeah, it's redundant, right? I mean, we got Norse as well, but both are useless, right? And Norse is in general safer, so something should go. What about now? 7 month, 2 redundant tiles, 8 and 7, right? Because all the other blocks are sufficient, right? All the other blocks are good, so we don't need 8 and 7, but 7 is more dangerous. So 7 months should go. What about now? You just got side weight. 9 months. So that's something that you might want to keep in mind. Oh, you're not happy that you draw 6 to get the side weight, but don't jump at 9. Well, 9 is of course redundant, but 7 is also redundant, and 7 can be dangerous later, right? So just because you just drew 6 doesn't mean that you have to discard 9 at this moment. Take a moment, take a breath, and look at the hand. 7 should go first, right? What about now? Pay should go, right? Even though it's a safe tile, discarding, doing sakigiri involves loss of efficiency. You lose, tile acceptance will be smaller by 4, so pay should go. What about now? 5 blocks, 2 pin, 3 pin, 3 pin, yeah?
They're not connected.
Right? They're not connected.
Yeah.
So you should lock in the head first to get yamen sideway, right? 3 pin. What about now?
So now we look the run.
Now they're connected, so two cell can go, right? If you draw 6, 9 cell, you can discard 4 to get yamen or semi-yamen, semi-sideway, right? So when they're connected, it's okay to lock in a run, right? Many times tiles are connected, but this is not too rare. This can happen a lot when we play. So it's really important that I'm really glad that you got it right. Right, so you should discard 3 to lock in the head. Yeah, so I thought maybe a good idea to take another break before the last section. So the lunch will be after the last part, right? Well, another lecture and then another section and then lunch, I guess.
Yeah, we were supposed to have tempo discussion first.
Oh, okay. Before the last part of the lecture?
We were supposed to finish at 12.
Okay.
And then switch to Tenho discussion.
Okay.
And then go for lunch.
Okay. Then yeah, so I'm happy to keep going. But so no break. Okay. Then I'll talk about deductions.
And can I ask? I have a question to you. Has anyone actually brought any Tenho screenshots for discussion? I mentioned this in the registration form, but I suppose no one would read that. So if we don't have any screenshots, then we can just proceed with the lecture, no problem, and then go have lunch.
Okay.
All right?
Makes sense.
Okay.
All right. Go on.
Okay, then let's talk about deductions or reading. Right, so Mahjong is a game of imperfect information. There are a lot of uncertainties.